Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. My name is Ben Moseby, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us for our second offering of the day. We've got a fantastic craft along coming up. If you have just joined us, it's cartload. I'm sure you know by now, Thursday is cartload night. Leanne in for our spring sale cartload tonight at 5. The majority of the deals there, so if you want to shop this show alongside the deals on Cartload, the majority of the deals are there. What I will say is that you do need to make sure you're back with us tonight at 5 for that show, because there will be some deals cropping up, let's just say, in the show itself. But you can have a look at the majority of the deals and then make sure you join us later. This show, though, as I say, our award-winning craft along show where, well, it does exactly what it says on the tin. You can craft along with us. Lovely Lily is going to be making a project in real time, so if you've seen all the details already on Facebook, on the socials, hopefully you've got all the bits and pieces that you need to craft along with us. If you haven't, we'll give you time to do that. And here's the brilliant thing, if you haven't even got this collection yet, we do still have all the options available for you. So if you like the project, you like the idea of the Majestic Unicorn, you can pick it up, and then when your product arrives, of course, you can come back and do this craft along at a later date. But in case you haven't seen the socials, let's find out from the lady herself what we're going to be making. It is the lovely Lily. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Been a bit of a busy day and it's only 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
But I'm all right. We're here on time, which is the main thing. And we're here to create, hopefully, what you guys are going to think is a very pretty project. Isn't it cute? I absolutely love this stamp that we're using here to create quite a simple card, just a Z-fold card, but it's all about the colouring, using our TriBlend brush pens to create that ombre effect. So that's what we're going to create on this afternoon's craft along.
Absolutely brilliant, that. You even made producer Johnny go, wow. He went, wow, that is a jazzy unicorn, he just said.
He's got his TriBlends out in the gallery, he's ready to go. Maybe, possibly.
Johnny, he just said, I need hair like that. You just need hair, mate, full stop, really. I think that's what it is. We've got the details up on the screen. Should we go through the list with Lily first, everything that we need, and then I'll take you through the deal. So what we're going to need, Lily? So
we are going to need, coming up now, we've skipped one. We've skipped one. Back to the beginning. There we go. From the Majestic Unicorn Collection, we'll need There is Power in Kindness stamp and die set. It's quite a strong name, that, isn't it? Blimey. Unicorn Sentiment stamp set, your A4 linen cardstock, and the 12x12 inch paper pad. You need your oval nesting dies, some TriBlend brush pens. We'll go through the colours a little bit later on. Your Noir Black alcohol-proof ink pad, some white cardstock, and your alcohol marker cardstock, which was previously known as Nina. So if you've got your Nina cardstock, you'll be good to go with that one. Then our additional elements is our Gemini 2 die cutting machine. You'll need a guillotine, Scoremaster scoreboard, your stencil and stamp platform, scissors, all-purpose glue, foam pads, and your low-tack tape. And that's everything you need to gather together to get started with this project. Do let us know if you are crafting along in real time. We do love to know. We love to see what you make as well. So if you are crafting along live, please let us know how you get on.
Exactly that, and also if you do craft along live, send us your pictures. Either you can send them into studio at crafterscompanion.co.uk, or you can, of course, just tag us in any of your pictures that you might pop in the I'm a Crafters Companion group on Facebook. Very quickly take you through it all, because we want to give Lily as much time as possible to do this. You're going to get everything within the Showstopper bundle. These beautiful papers, and my goodness me, they've got that pearl effect to them, so you're going to get that beautiful shimmer, that beautiful sheen. But what I love about this is that you have got opportunities with the papers, again, to create cards outside of that unicorn sort of feel. You know, just beautiful florals there, you know, that you can use if you want to do bigger projects. And then, of course, again here, design with that intent that you can cut into them and create smaller projects. Love the fact that you've got all of the different unicorns, different styles and different designs. All the papers are beautiful, and once again, if you do want something a little bit more stripped back, you've got that on the B side of all of the papers within the 12x12. What's slightly different with this collection, normally would say to you, okay, well, you've got your 12x12 and then you've got your 6x6, which is a shrunken down version. Not this time. The 6x6, actually you're getting completely different designs. And what's so lovely about this is you've almost got 24 card fronts right there, Lily, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? Matte and layer, stick them on a card and you're away. Yeah,
you're good to go. I like to think the 6x6 in this case is more as like a topper pad rather than a paper pad, because these really are ready-made toppers. And I love the fact as well that you get multiples of each. So if you do want to snip into them, do a little bit of decoupage, then absolutely you can do just that.
So again, totally different to the 12x12, but you're getting 24 sheets within your paper pad. Corresponding designs as far as your vellum is concerned, you're getting 24 sheets there, and then you'll also get all of your luxury linen cardstock. And once again, the colours on your linen cardstock are going to match up perfectly with the colours that you've got in your papers. So you're getting 6 different designs there. You're getting 4 sheets of each, giving you your 24 sheets. Those are your papers, and that is your cardstock. You're also going to get in this collection your fantastic illusion film. It's one of those collections which just sort of shouts out to have that included. It is the beautiful illusion film. If I give that a little bit of a wiggle, you can see all of the different colours there that you're going to be able to achieve by adding that to your project. You get 2 rolls, you're getting 2 meters on each roll, so 4 meters in total. And then you get all of your hardware included as well. So as far as that is concerned, stamps and dies. There is power in kindness. This is called. It's a very bold, striking name.
It is, isn't it? There's power in kindness. Well, I'm not quite sure how that relates to the image, but there you go. Maybe it's a very kind, powerful unicorn. Who knows?
Exactly right. Embrace your inner unicorn. That edible. So that's the kind of one that you use, Lily, isn't it, with your illusion film? Back
Absolutely,
that to create some really cool
That's
effects.
going to look amazing with the illusion film behind it. Or if you like a bit of paper piecing, I know we did a bit of paper piecing on last night's Beautiful Beginnings. That's an amazing one to paper piece.
Where there are unicorns, there are obviously rainbows. So you've got this really cute stamp and die set with the rainbow. You've got the clouds and the little heart and stars, and you've got lots of cute little verses there as well, in the same shape, of course, as your rainbow. Loads of other sentiments too. So the unicorn sentiments you've got: follow your dreams. You've got things like have a magical day, I believe in you, and then you've got a stamp and die sentiment set, which is called Born to be a Unicorn. So the unicorn is your die cut, and then you've got these extra stamps to add to your sentiment as well. And then last but by no means least is your beautiful unicorn at heart embossing folder. Again, how good does that look? You can see all of the detail in that beautiful emboss, and that's everything that you're going to get within this collection. Brilliantly priced as well. £48 or $64 is the platinum price on that, and everything as well is available for you if you want to jump in and grab things individually. Few quick hellos and then we'll get into it with Lily. JT King joins us saying hello. Laurie Parra says hello again. Hello again. Stacey joined us saying it's still raining in Orange County, California. Stephen Nichole's in. Trudy Bickham and Nana Kim joins us in North Carolina. Rosalind Russell's in. Pat Demarest says I'll definitely be saving the show and doing this card because I have the collection and I love it. Cannot wait for the show to begin. Cindy Connie says, love this entire unicorn collection, so beautiful. Hi Mary Beth Doyle in Minnesota, hi Carletta in Arkansas, and hello Mary Shaw in Florida. We'll do a few more of your comments as we go, but let's give Lily as much time as possible because it's only an hour in case I didn't say. 53 minutes, is that going to be enough?
Yeah, I think so. What we're going to do is going to create the card base, do all the mats and layers and all that sort of thing to start with, and then we've got as much time as we possibly can towards the end to do the colouring, because I really do want to show you how you can create that ombre effect on the mane of that beautiful unicorn. So we'll start off with our card base, and for our Z fold card, what I've done is I've taken a piece of our 12 by 12 inch card. Now we used to sell, I'm not sure if we do still do it, but they were 6 inches by 12 inches sheets. They originally came with some tri-fold aperture dies, so if you have got those sheets that are 6 by 12, it's going to work exactly the same, or you can cut it down from a 12 by 12 inch sheet. So one is measured by 6 inches by 12 inch. We'll leave that as it is, no cutting needed for that one. And then for our other piece, we're going to keep that length of 12 inches, but for this one, we're just going to cut it down to 2 inches. So it's going to be 2 inch by 12 inch, and this is going to form that extra sort of second piece to our Z fold card. So we'll just chop that down to 2 by 12 and 6 by 12. We'll move our guillotine out the way, and we'll do a little bit of scoring next. So we'll bring in our scoreboard. Here we've got our score master. You don't need a super big scoreboard for this one. You don't need your big score. Your score master will do the job perfectly. And we'll just grab our scoring tool as well. Looks like somebody's had a bit of a nibble on the end of this.
A nibble?
Who's been eating this tool? Look at the state of that.
Oh yeah.
Blimey heck. Same on the other one as well. Dear oh dear, I won't touch the end.
It's like being back at school, isn't it? When you used to like chew the end of your pencil in an exam.
Oh, foul, absolutely foul. Then you'd have to borrow a pencil that was all chewed. Taking me back, bad memories there. Anyway, back to the scoring. So we're going to score at 3 inches. So just scoring down, and as we always say, don't score really heavily in the first instance, just score lightly and then go over that score line multiple times to build up a nice crisp score line. And then we're going to score at 6. So 3 and 6 is all we need to do in terms of score lines for this larger piece. And then it's exactly the same with our smaller piece. So our 2 inch piece is also going to be scored at 3 inches and 6 inches. So very simple in terms of the score lines for this project. I always think that Z-fold card looks a lot more sort of complicated and technical. So easy. It's just 2 separate pieces with exactly the same score lines. You can do them square like we are doing here. You can do them rectangular. Lots and lots of different options in terms of your Z-fold cards. So we're going to go back to our main piece here. We're just going to pop our fold lines in. So that mid line there, we're just going to fold in half, so it's looking like a traditional 6x6 inch card base. Of course, you can start with a 6x6 inch base to start with, and then just pop a 3 inch score line in there if you want. It's totally up to you if you prefer using a ready-made card base. And then this middle score line here, we're just going to fold back. So we've got our mountain and our valley scoring in opposite directions, gives us the first part of our card. That could be a card base standalone as it is. You don't need to add that extra element, but in this case, we want to bring in even more of those pattern papers. So we are bringing in that second part of our card. So score again in half, and then once again, on that second score line, we're just going to score that back out, and then those two will fit together so that the folds are sort of the opposite way around. So that would be the same way around. So all we're going to do with this front one is we're just going to flip it so you've got that large bar on the outside. Those two will stick together, and that will give you your Z-fold card.
Cool.
But we need some mats and layers, I think. So we'll bring in those lovely pattern papers and the linen cardstock. So I'm working with the 12x12 inch pad here. You could use the 6x6 for this card, but I want sort of the all-over designs rather than the toppers, as I like to think of them as. So we'll start off with some of this lovely sort of pinky purple linen card. And we're just going to cut this down so it's 1/8 of an inch smaller than our card base. So remember that every square on the base of our guillotine is 1/4 of an inch, so half a square is going to be 1/8 of an inch. So find our 6 inches, and all we need to do is just go half a square underneath that. So let's just chop that down. That's going to be 5 7/8, and we'll do exactly the same on the other side. Half a square underneath 6, and that will give us our 5 7/8, and that will fit beautifully into the centre of our card. Then we'll do the same with our pattern paper. Deciding which side. I think I'm going to use the B side for this, but we're just going to cut it once again 1/8 of an inch smaller. So that's going to be 5 3/4. So we find 6, and it's going to be 1 full square under 6. So that's going to be 5 3/4, and then do exactly the same on the other side. So it's 5 3/4 inch square, and then that's going to mat and layer onto our purpley pink colour that we've just cut down, just like so.
Beautiful.
Couple more mats and layers for the front 2 panels. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring back in some of our lovely purple cardstock, and with the same idea once again. So we're going to cut it down so it is half a square under 3. So find 3 and then half a square under, and then on the other side it's going to be half a square under 6. So 6, half a square under, and that's our first one that will fit perfectly onto the front of the card. Then we're going to have another one that's just going to go onto the inside there, just to really fill out the decoration. So we do exactly the same with this one. I think we've got just enough cardstock here. So it's going to be half a square, oh yeah, just about half a square under 3, and then once again half a square under 6. Those are our 2 panels. Make sure I save them, keep them to one side, and then we'll bring in our pattern paper once again. Same idea, so the top measurement is going to be 1 full square under 6, so 5 3/4, and then on the other side it's going to be 1 full square under 3, which is 2 3/4. Cut down, and then cut another one for our other mat and layer at 2 3/4. And then all we need to do is just start to glue together all of our mats and layers. So with this being a coated cardstock, I know Ben's already alluded to the fact that this is a lovely sort of pearl shimmer to this cardstock. Your all-purpose is probably not the best one to go for. It's best to go for something like a tacky glue that will coat better with it being a coated cardstock. Or of course your tape pen is going to be absolutely ideal as well. So we're just gliding around with our tape pen. Yep. Don't forget your very theatrical flick at the end.
Got to be done.
Absolutely, as Ben was mastering last night, as well as his water spritzer, which was very, very theatrical indeed.
Yeah, I don't know where my card went from last night. So yours is over there.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know where mine went.
What did you do with it?
I don't know.
Oh dear. That's a little worrying, isn't it? It wasn't even 24 hours ago.
I know.
Could be anywhere. Maybe
I enjoyed that yesterday, actually.
It was fun.
It was good fun.
It was really good fun, yeah. I'm not sure if I'm on any more beautiful beginnings for the rest of the month. Disappointed. I want to do some more crafting together.
Let's get you back on. Let's start a campaign. Get Lily back on Beautiful Beginnings.
Yeah. Change all the shows around next week. So it's I'm doing Thursday, I think, but not Wednesday.
Next Thursday?
Yeah. The middle shows, I do believe.
Is it?
I think so.
I haven't looked at my calendar. I go from week to week, if I'm being honest with you.
Well, I know what you mean, yeah. I do know what you mean.
Craft along. What date is that? The 20th?
Right, I think I'm doing Wake Up Call in the middle too.
Oh, you are?
I am.
Craft along.
Right.
And Colour Me Happy.
Colour Me Happy. Oh, I love a bit of Colour Me Happy. Excited for that one.
Oh, and Wake Up Call.
And Wake Up Call. Gosh, can't get rid of me.
I know. And then you've got a
everywhere.
random Craig cartload.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? He's coming in for one show.
Sure, see.
One show and one show only. I'll do 3, Craig. You'll do one.
Part-timers.
Absolutely. I
They
mean,
used to call me the part-timer.
well,
Yeah, can't get rid of me now.
you've not had any time off this week, have you?
I haven't, no.
Blimey me, how are you coping?
And by the
very
way,
well.
just before you say it as well, it's not a day off tomorrow. I'm at the
You're
NEC.
working very hard, I know.
You're working very hard.
I know, bringing stock down and all sorts, he was telling me beforehand.
I'll be like long-distance Clara taking that stock down later.
Absolutely, bringing your wagon down, I
I
presume.
will, yeah. And I'll be
Yeah.
there waving the flag for the good ship, Crafters TV, try and get some
Absolutely.
more viewers in.
Yep, telling all the other crafters about where we are, how to find us.
Exactly right, and why we are the only craft channel that you ever want to watch.
Absolutely. Well, watch a bit of Hobby Maker. That's
Oh, yeah,
we weren't
yeah.
bad mouth then, but
Yeah, you know.
we're obviously top of the tree.
But mainly us.
Mainly us, yeah,
Yeah,
of course. Yeah, I'm gutted I won't be there, but I will be here on
Oh, yeah.
Saturday.
Because you were going to be there, weren't you?
I was going to be there, but you know what the schedule's like, things change. So I'm here, of course.
So tomorrow you're on...
The middle show, I
The middle
believe.
show tomorrow,
Yeah.
Craft Vault.
Got a craft vault. I've not done a craft vault in years. Well,
That'd be fun.
Maybe not years, but a while. It will be fun. It
Fast
will
and
be very fun.
Furious.
It will be. Might have to have a lie down in a darkened room after that. Dear, oh dear. Right, so we've popped all of our mats and layers onto our main card base. So you can see we've got all those lovely papers onto our card. And then all we need to do is do some matting and layering onto our separate piece. So don't forget this was a 2-inch wide by your 6-inch. So we'll bring back in some more of this lovely purpley colour card. I'm just checking whether I can use any of these scraps. I think I can. So it's going to be half a square under 6 by then half a square under 2. So let's find that. And then we'll just trim down. And then we're going to bring in a slightly different pattern paper for this one. I absolutely love this design. I think it's gorgeous. It's really, really sort of, you can imagine the flowers sort of almost growing off the page. It's
Yeah, I know what you
gorgeous.
mean.
The other side's nice as well, actually, isn't it? Choices. I think we'll go with this one like on the original. So we'll cut this down to 1 3/4 by 5 3/4. And that's going to give us that 1/8 of an inch border of the pink once again. So find 5 3/4, and then those two will fit together nicely. And then finally, we'll just need a couple of pieces for those extra 2 elements there and there. So once again, all these little scraps coming in useful. Maybe not be able to use that, but I could give it a go. I'm
Well, you
sure.
never know, keep it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just in case.
That won't be going anywhere at all. You know what I'm like for saving,
Yeah.
saving all my bits and bobs. So this one's going to be half a square under 3 by half a square under 2. And we need 2 of those cut to exactly the same size. So we'll just chop the other one in the same way. And then we'll bring in our pattern paper once again. And we shall cut this down to 1 3/4. Oh, we've got a scrap here. We'll use that first. So it's going to be 2 3/4 by 1 3/4. So we'll just chop that down. You can with these smaller mats and layers as well. If you've got your little guillotines or your trimmers, you can be using those as well. I guess it's whatever you favour in terms of your cutting tools. I know we all have different preferences with those. I do love my large guillotine, but we're all different at the end of the day. It's nice to have choices. And then that one is our final mat and layer. So we'll move that out the way. We'll move our guillotine out the way, and then we'll just stick together these final mats and layers. So bringing our tape pen to do that.
Whilst you're sticking, we can say hi to Laurie. She says, I love unicorns.
Oh.
And, oh my goodness, I have enough items from this collection that I don't have to wait for the showstopper to arrive. Well, that's all good news. Stephanie says, good morning, Ben and Lily and friends. I missed the first show as we were busy with the grandkids, getting them off to school, and I got a bit mixed up with times. What am I like?
Oh dear.
Your
Sounds like
times
David Robinson.
I know. Your times have changed, though, haven't they, in the US? Because you put your clocks forward. So you're an hour the other way now.
Yeah.
Until 2 weeks on Sunday.
Oh, is it 2 weeks? Oh, I can't wait.
I know. And then
Can't
they go
come
back.
soon enough.
Good morning, love to create. LC says, good morning, Lily, Ben, team and all. I'm going to try and craft along later.
Ooh, exciting.
Make a lot of this type of card, says Sue, and it lends itself to all occasions.
Certainly does.
Zfold makes the receiver impressed with your cards, says Laurie. Can't buy them at the store. It's an impressive make, as you said, isn't it? But once you know the trick behind it, it's simple to do, isn't it?
So easy, aren't they? I have to say I love making these style of cards because, like we say, they are so impressive looking, but really, really simple to put together. You can even do them using your pre-made cards, just adding a few extra score lines in. Perfect for lots of different occasions. You can use your different colours of card as well. It doesn't always have to be a white cardstock. So a really versatile card shape. And if you've never tried one before, what are you playing at? Come on, give them a go.
Well, it's one of Mary Beth Dora's favourites. She said Z-Fold, one of my favourite card folds. And Sharon Schmitz says, hello, everyone. First time writing, but I love watching. Well, hello, Sharon.
Oh, hello. Lovely to have you with us and lovely to have you commenting as well. Don't be a stranger. Don't be shy.
That's
Let
it.
us know you're there.
We don't bite.
We don't.
Pamela says, hi everybody, and hi to one of my favourite people in the whole world, Lily.
Oh.
Pamela Ritchie.
Oh, thank you so much. That is lovely. Have that in writing, stick it on the wall.
She says, hi Ben, I think I'm going to order this collection and make this project that Lily is showing us in memory of my mum. And it would be a happy tribute that I'll save forever. She absolutely loved unicorns and horses.
Oh, oh, that's lovely, isn't it? What a nice collection for something like that.
Yeah.
Right, so we're just going to stick our two pieces together. So the easiest way I find to do this is have your extra element, have it closed. So shut that card.
Shut that card.
Shut that card. So shut your card, lay it down, and then just pop your adhesive onto the two areas that you can see there. So then rather than having it open and not being quite sure where you need to pop your adhesive, close it and then just pop it on those two elements there. And then that way you'll make sure you won't add glue where you don't want it. So close that bar and then just pop it. It's up to you. It could be in the centre, it could be at the top, at the bottom. We're going to have it perhaps about 3/4 of an inch, roughly, from the base. Smooth that down. What you should find when you open it up, that will lie flat with the two elements together, and that way you know you've sort of glued it correctly.
And you can place that wherever you want on the card, right?
Oh,
but
yeah.
It does tend to more often than not be at the bottom.
Yeah, I have seen some lovely ones though, especially with like Christmas cards when it's right at the top and you've got baubles or something like that dangling down. And that is our card base.
Cool.
That's all it is. Easy as that.
Excellent.
Give you guys at home a few moments to catch up and then we'll carry on, I think.
Yeah, excellent stuff. And also give you the opportunity that if you've got any comments or questions to fire those in. Anything you want to know about the collection, maybe you want another flick through the paper pads, you can ask. Or if you are crafting along, do you need any repetition of any measurements or what Lily did, please feel free to ask and we're happy to do those for you. We'll come back in just a few moments' time, but as you will know, the Creative Craft Show is taking place at the NEC. We're there this year, which is very exciting. I'll be there tomorrow. Sarah is there on Saturday, if you're coming along. D-Rob, well, she's there basically all the days, but she'll be on the Crafters Companion stand on Sunday. And there for us today is the one and only Debbie Fisher.
Hi guys, I'm at the NEC. It's the creative show. I've got... Hi, Rachel Windy. Look, the creative show, it's so busy. Our stand is like just crazily busy. Everyone's waiting. Really busy, and it's just incredibly exciting to be here with everybody. So if you can pop down today, make sure you do, because we've got loads of good offers. It's incredible. But also pop down on tomorrow, because Ben will be coming tomorrow, so you'll know, and Saturday Sarah, and Sunday is our Debbie Robinson. But do pop and see us at the creative show NEC. See you all soon, guys. Ben, Anisha, this is Johnny, this is Jamie. Bye.
Tea first, and then from there it'll be meetings, and there could be commercial meetings, there could be creative meetings, I could be supporting one of my team. I also manage a large team, so it could be one-to-ones with those. Every day is different.
Get in early on the morning to work, set up all my cameras, all my TV monitors, make sure all the lights are on. After the last show, we'll need to make sure everything's switched off, ready for the next day. Then I get to go home, just watch some TV, watch some movies. Then when I'm making some food, and then go to sleep.
When I'm working, it's quite busy because I have to get up really early to come into work if I'm going to be travelling from London. But otherwise, I'm quite lazy. I spend time in bed before I get up in the morning.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty program today and receive 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits to joining Club Inspire include special members-only sales, and you can receive discounts or exclusive access to products, and even free gifts. You will receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro that you spend. And the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. See if you can craft your way up to our ultimate Club Inspire tier, Platinum, where you'll enjoy the very best discounts and rewards that we offer. As you keep climbing through the club, you can actually reach Platinum Plus and even Platinum for life. The more points you collect, the more you will be rewarded within our amazing special Club Inspire community. So, what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
There you go. We will keep you fully abreast of what's going on, of course, down at the craft show at the NEC over the course of the few days, because I know a lot of our American friends are keen to see what's happening down there. But if you are coming down, she'll see you there tomorrow. Looking forward to it. And if you are popping down today, of course, Debbie is there as well, as you've seen. No further comments or questions have come through, so I am assuming, Lily, we are all good to carry on. So what's the next step?
A little bit of die cutting next, I think. So we're going to bring in some of my absolute favourites. Definitely my favourite launch from last year, which was our nesting dies. We're going to use the ovals, and this is going to be the perfect sort of platform to pop our stamped and die cut image onto. So I've grabbed 3 of the ovals. So I've got 2, which are sort of the next size down to each other, and then I've skipped 1. And then I've got that next smaller one. So the smallest one we're going to cut from some of our white card. So this was actually the leftover. Remember when we cut away that 2-inch piece for our extra element of the card base? This was the bit that was left over. So we're going to cut our smallest one from our white. And then our largest one we're going to do from some of this lovely purpley colour. So we'll just chop that down to size. I always like to cut my cardstock just ever so slightly larger than the die itself before it goes through the die cutting machine. That way you're not going to end up marking any of that excess cardstock on your plates as it goes through that die cutting machine. And then finally that mid-size one is going to go on some of that scrap of pattern paper that we used to do some of our matting and layering on. So all we're going to do is we're going to grab our plates here, and with using our larger size plates we'll be able to fit all 3 through at once.
After you've cut these, could you just again, well, you might be able to do it whilst you're cutting, just recap on the dimensions of the card, and just Stacey's wondering how you got the strip for the Z fold.
Okay, so for the card base itself, the actual main part was a 6-inch by 12-inch sheet.
Yeah.
And then we scored that at 3 inches and 6 inches to give us our main part. And then for that extra part, our sort of extra bar of the Z fold part, that was 12 inches by 2 inches. Same score lines on that one, so scoring at 3 inches and 6 inches, and that gave you your card base itself. Then all the mats and layers were just 1/8 of an inch smaller than the card base. So for example, for that main part of the card, that pink mat and layer was 5 7/8 inch square, and then the next layer down, so from our pattern paper, that was 5 3/4, and just working in 1/8 of an inch increments for all those mats and layers. So once you've made your card base, just give it a little measure, and then you'll work out which all of those mats and layers need to be size-wise. Hopefully that helps. Any more questions, just let us know, and Ben will fling them my way, and I'll do my best.
Them.
Fling them.
There you go.
There you go. Very enthusiastically flinging them over. Hopefully that does help though. Right. A little bit of die cutting here. So we've got our 3 different size ovals, and these are going to all lay together nicely. So we'll just remove the tape from our dies, and I'll just pop my dies back onto the sheet to make sure none go missing and Tracy doesn't shout at me, because these are
she's
from
out
Tracy.
There. Look out.
I know she's milling about outside.
She is milling.
Is
she always
putting the
mills.
dies back? There you go. All full set there, going back in the packet, and we'll leave them to one side. So the 2 largest ovals, we're going to stick those together using flat adhesive. So I'll just use some of my tape pen onto the back of there to stick those 2 mats together. So that's just going to go into the centre of the pink one there. And then for that middle one, what we're going to do with this one is we're going to stick this using some of our foam tape. So I'll just grab my foam on a roll, and we'll just pop that into the centre. I can't believe I said it. I always make sure I never say the words. I've not heard that song in a very long time.
What do you call it? You call it a foam tape,
foam
don't you?
tape, yeah.
Yeah, foam tape.
There we go. And we'll just peel the backing off, and we'll pop that into the middle of the larger oval.
Hello, Alison Gibson says hello. Hello, Ben and Lily. I'm watching whilst making a Mother's Day card for my mum. Not long till Mother's Day. That's the same weekend as our clocks go forward, isn't it?
Yes, last weekend of the month, I believe.
Do you know what? Johnny's just said that. Laura said to me the other night, she's like, I can't believe it. Every single year, Mother's Day, we mums lose an hour's sleep. And I was thinking, I'm not sure every year Mother's Day falls on the same day, but yeah, it's not nice this year. You lose an hour in bed.
Never good, is it?
Although, having said that, it does roll into a Sunday, doesn't it? So just stay in bed a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll be getting breakfast in bed at the very least.
Yeah, hopefully treating those mums right on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Not in Johnny's house, though, we've just heard.
He just said his lad's got a football match, so...
Oh dear, early start then.
Yeah.
Lots of muddy washing afterwards as well.
That's it.
Never good.
What will it be? A card and a cup of tea by a bedside table?
Yeah.
And the boys are gone.
Gone.
Yeah, and then Leo's muddy kit as a, happy Mother's Day. There you go.
Can you get this washed? My boots are mucky, my kit's mucky. Oh dear, what a Mother's Day, eh?
Oh dear.
Oh dear, right, there we
Look
go,
at that.
there's our matte list. Doesn't that look nice
Does
with all
look
those
nice,
pattern
yeah.
papers? But we'll leave that to one side, and this is where I'm going to start off doing a little bit of colouring. So we'll start by doing our stamping. So I've got my stencil stamp platform. It's the same mucky one that we said a few weeks ago needed a wash, and it's still not had a wash, but never mind. It is what it is, not a lot we can do about it now. And we've got a piece of our alcohol marker cardstock that's just going to go into the centre of there.
What was the largest oval you used there, Stephanie's asking?
I don't know, they're not numbered, are they?
Oh.
Let's give it a measure. It's about 5 inches, I'd say, roughly.
Okay.
What I like to do is I tend to pop my card together first, and I'll get out my nested dice and I'll just have a little look, have a play around the different sizes and see whatever works best. But if it's sort of a little bit, maybe about an inch smaller than that smallest matting layer, then it'll be about the right size.
Cool.
Yeah, we don't number them.
No.
It's an idea. Might put that one forward. So we've got some of our alcohol marker card, or if you've still got some of your Nina card left, that's going to work a treat. And we've got our lovely stamp. There is power in kindness.
There is. Plenty of power.
There's a power.
Oh, there's a power.
I always thought there is power. There's a power.
There's a power.
Interesting. And we'll just pop that into the centre. Don't worry about the edges of this being a little bit scratty, because we are going to die cut the image out once we've stamped it. So I tend to stamp, die cut and then colour last. I just find, for me, that's the sort of easiest order to work in. So we've got one of our alcohol proof ink pads here using the Noir Black, and we're just going to ink up. So taking our ink to our stamp. Sorry, I always make a right racket.
Does it matter which ink pad you use? Because I know we've got, there's 4 different colours, isn't there?
There is, yeah.
So do you tend to go to one more than the others?
Depends what sort of effect I want to create, really, because I want quite a nice crisp dark line for this. This is why I'm going for the black one here.
Right.
But if you want something a little bit more subtle, your flagstone's great for that. If you want something a little bit more rustic, then your rustic brown. Just depends what sort of effect you're wanting to create, really. I've missed a little bit there on that left-hand side, so just going to re-ink that, and because our cardstock hasn't moved and our stamp hasn't moved, we can just go in and re-stamp there onto the left-hand side, and that's going to give us that perfect stamped image. Then we just need to remove that from its tacky mat. So I tend to use my poker tool, because quite frankly it can be a bit difficult getting in there with my nails on. So we've removed that just like so. Then all we need to do next is we need to just die cut that image out. So we've got an outline die here. Very easy to work with a die like this, because it's got that hole in the centre, so you can see exactly where you're positioning it. So we'll just line that up. We'll grab some low tack tape. A couple of pieces is always a good idea with these, just to make sure it doesn't pivot around as it goes through that die cutting machine. So we'll just pop that over the top, making sure I've got an even border between the die and the edge of that stamped image. Piece on top there, and then we'll just place another piece onto that bottom section there, just like so. And then we can run that through our die cutting machine using the Gemini 2 once again, but of course you can use those smaller machines, even right down to your mini as well, with this particular die. So we'll just pop that through our die cutting machine, and then we'll get ready to get colouring, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Helen says, I don't have this stamp and die, but I suppose you could fussy cut around one of the unicorns from the paper pad. I mean, that is an option, isn't it?
Yeah, of course you could, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
If you do want the stamp and die, as I said earlier, everything I think is still available individually for you. So if you did just want to buy that without buying the full collection, if you shop the day, you'd be able to see all of the individual elements there. And, you know, also on that front, if you've already got the collection and you need more papers or vellum or illusion film, again, you can add those into your basket as an individual item. Stephanie just asked, Lily, do you prep the stamp before using it?
When it's brand new, if it's the first time I've used it, quite often I'll just give it a few stamps. I don't sort of expect that first stamp to be perfect, but now that I know that this stamp is a used stamp, it's been used a few times, you should be absolutely fine. But if you are struggling, a layer of like your watermark ink pad over the surface should be a good one to go for.
Excellent.
Right, let's get colouring, my favourite part. So we've got a piece of scrap cardstock just underneath. I'm going to be copying something a little bit like that. So we're going to start off with his face and his neck to start with. So we're going in with our ice grey blend, starting off with the palest colour tone, which is our IG1. We're not going to go over the full area, we're going to leave a few areas white, because we are sort of wanting to create a slightly very, very pale grey, off-white sort of colour tone to his fur here. So going over that area, I'm just imagining around where his hair is, there'll be a little bit of a shadow cast underneath there. Around where the top is there'll be a bit of a shadow cast around those areas. And you do also have some of the lines that are already in that stamped image that will help you have a few clues as to where the light and shade might be. But my best tip is always, don't overthink it, don't overcomplicate it. Just get some colour down, get colour in, and start to lay all of that colour down and get a bit of shading on there. Don't worry too much about the light source, but let's start to just bring in those darker colours. So we've got our IG2 is our next one. And I always work from light to dark, so just building up those colour tones. Now going in with our IG3. And so often we get asked about the difference between a blend and an extend. There isn't so much of a difference per se. By using both the blend and the extend, it allows you to get even more colours within one colour family. So for example, the blend's IG1, 3 and 6, and then the extend is IG2, 7 and 10. So it basically sort of fills in the gaps between the colours. You can of course use the blend on its own, you can use the extend on its own, but by using them both together, it gives you sort of a longer blend and you can get even more shade onto
So you can go
image.
either darker on one particular blend or
Yeah.
lighter on one particular blend.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely, you certainly can. It just gives you more options, doesn't it, in terms of the sort of blend you create.
And it would work in the fact, so if you had a pen which was like 135 and
Yeah.
the other one was say 246,
Yeah.
could you potentially go, would it be weird if you went like 126, or would you need to have like that gap, if you know what I mean, in between?
Yeah, it just sort of depends how close the colours are. Obviously, the closer those colour tones are, the easier it is to blend. If
Right,
you've got
yeah.
two really, really different, like one really, really light, one really pale, it can be quite difficult to blend them. So by having those intermediate tones, it does help you a little bit to blend it, but just have a play. See whatever works for you, have an experiment. And you can see there, we start to blend. We blended there from IG1 to 6, so quite a long blend on there, and it gives you that nice little bit of shade and shadow onto his mane. I always forget his ears. I always colour the face and I always forget the ears. So we'll go back to do the ears.
Yeah.
Once again, forgot the ears. But there we go. Same sort of idea once again, going in with our lightest first, building up the colour tones until you've got something.
I always find it
enough
so
dimension.
interesting watching you guys colour what would normally be like something that's white, like a snowman, for example, or
Yeah.
like the unicorn here. It's very clever how you make it sort of come to life.
Yeah, it's one of those things, it's always a slightly strange thing to say, but by adding colour to white, it makes it look more white, if that makes sense. If you were just to leave that as plain white without any colour on there, it wouldn't look very realistic, it would look very harsh against the bright colours that we're going to add. So by just adding a little bit of blue or a little bit of grey, it really does help to bring that image to life. So that's all of our grey elements done on there. Now we're going to move on to the main, because this is what I really want to show you guys, how we create this lovely ombre effect. So you can use some of our tri-colour pens. I know we've done our ombres in those, but we're actually going to use two of our traditional TriBlend brushes from different colour families. So we've got our magenta blend and our lavender blend. I'm going to blend them together to create an ombre. So we're starting off with our lavender and the palest colour tone. I'm going to find about halfway around the mane, so about halfway from the top and the bottom is around about here. And we're just going to start to lay down some of that lightest colour tone in that middle section. So going slightly above that middle section and slightly below as well, but slightly more above than below, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then we're going to switch out to our magenta blend, but the palest one from this. So all we're going to do is we're just going to start to lay down that lightest magenta colour, and then we're going to work up, we're going to start flicking upwards to blend and bridge that gap between the purple and the pink on there. So just bridging that gap by flicking that pink colour up, and then you can do exactly the same by bringing back in that purple to start to really bridge that gap and really blend the two together, just flicking downwards. And that's the beauty of using your brush pens. It gives you that lovely blend using that brush, and just start to flick that down until you're happy with the blend that you've achieved between those two colours. And then once you are, we're going to go back to the magenta. So we start to lay down that colour. So the bottom half is going to be the magenta, the top half is going to be lavender. So we'll just lay down a little bit more of that lovely pinky colour tone on that bottom section of the mane, and then we'll just work up in exactly the same way we do with a traditional colour blend. We're just going to work up to our mid-tone and then to our darkest colour tone.
Couple of questions.
Go on.
Anne says, I need to clean my stick mat.
Ooh.
Is it possible to do so without removing it from the platform?
Do you know what? And I would say remove it from the platform. I would. You just want to give it a little run, a rinse under some warm water. Be careful how you dry it. You don't want to use something like a microfiber cloth, otherwise all the fibres might get stuck all over it. So just sort of leave it in a warm place to dry. But I would, if you can, I would remove it from the platform. It is very easy to get it back in afterwards though.
Using grey is a great tip, says Laurie, especially for beginners. And on the subject of your ovals, a few people are asking, so when you finish this in a minute,
Yeah.
can you count down from the outer die to which size you use and do it that way?
Yeah, no
so
problem.
that people know which
problem
one,
at
so
all.
a couple of people ask about that.
No problem, yes.
We'll do that after the colouring.
Yeah, we'll do a little bit of colour and then we can count our ovals. So we're just going in with this darkest colour tone within the magenta. That's going to be at the very bottom of the mane there. We're just flicking that upwards. That's going to start to blend those colours within that sort of second part of the mane. Then when we're happy with that bottom section, we're going to move back to our lavender blend. Just because that ink might have dried a little bit at the top there, I'm just going to sort of re-wet that ink by going back in with that palest colour tone. After all, it's a lot easier to work with a wet surface, so when you're working into wet ink rather than trying to blend onto dry card. So we're just going to re-moisten that ink onto that section there, and then we'll do exactly the same. We'll work up those colour tones. We go into our mid-tone of the lilac there and start to blend that out, just flicking, using that lovely brush nib to give us that really nice texture, that more realistic texture to the mane. And then when we're happy we've added enough of that one, we're going to go to our darkest colour tone, which is our LV3. And that's just going to go at the very roots of the mane here. But quite an easy technique to create this sort of ombre. As long as you're using two colours that are not too different, obviously your pink and your purple are not too dissimilar at all, so it's very much achievable to blend those two colour families, but it does create a really quite funky effect onto your finished card.
But like you said, if you do struggle, we do have the tricolour pens, don't we, with the in the burgundy barrel.
But yes, the legendary burgundy barrel.
Burgundy barrel.
We certainly do, yes.
So those are going to be colours which will ombre nicely together, aren't they?
Absolutely, yes. You get three sort of similar but different colour families within your burgundy barrels. So it makes it super easy to do this sort of technique. But if you don't have those, this is a great way to show how you can use your regular TriBlend brush pens to do this sort of technique. But it doesn't just have to be with TriBlends. If you've got your Illustrators or your Classics, you can still ombre those as well. Of course, it's just going to give you a different look and feel in terms of the nib that you're using.
Cool.
So just this second part of the mane, this little sneaky bit at the top here that I missed on the first time round. But it is easy if you're working in smaller sections, so doing that main section first and those smaller sections does make it a lot more manageable rather than trying to do really large areas all in one fell swoop. So we're just going with our darkest colour tone at the very tips, and having a really fine point to these brush nibs really does help get into all of that detail. We'll go a bit of magenta for the inner ears there. So starting off with our palest, going to our mid-tone, and then we'll go into our darkest. And it's just a case of colouring in the flowers, and then our colouring's pretty much done.
Laurie just says, I tend to use too light of a grey, and then in correcting that, I think it comes out too dark. Have you got any suggestions for Laurie?
Oh, I'd start with your palest colour tone. So like we did there, start with your really pale and then work it up as much as you need to. So I didn't use the darkest colour tones within that ice grey blend. Just keep on adding until you're happy. Then once you're happy, stop and move on to the next area.
Okay.
Hopefully
all good questions. Helps. Anything else you want to fire our way?
Absolutely.
Feel free.
As we know, Ben will fling it my way.
Oh, I've got another one. I'll fling it over now.
Fling it over. Come on, I'm ready.
Lily, can you colour onto Centura Pearl cardstock, asks Stephanie.
Oh, that's an interesting question. You can, yes, especially with your alcohol-based pens. Because your alcohol pens, like your TriBlends that we're using here, will go onto a multitude of surfaces. I know these days we tend to just use them onto our cardstock, but don't forget you can colour things like your pearls, your gems, your ribbon, you can colour onto your acetate. So yeah, coated and non-coated surfaces, your alcohol pens will work a treat. So yeah, if you do colour onto your Centura Pearl, let us know what you get on, show us pictures. We love to see what you create, but absolutely they'll work a treat.
Excellent stuff. Mary Pat just says, my granddaughters would love this colour combination, and lots of people saying they are enjoying it. This card, says Laurie, is coming together easily and beautifully impressive card for someone as well.
Thank you. I told you it was easy, didn't I? Not complicated at all. Nice, easy hour craft long, but hopefully teaching you a technique that you might have never tried before. Perhaps you've done this sort of technique, but not for a long time. So hopefully showing you something a little bit different to use in your crafting. So final flower here, and then we're ready to start building our card together. So our light
flown over this hour, isn't it?
Isn't it? Just looks
really
at the clock.
quick.
It's nearly 2:45. Blow me neck. This day's gone very quickly. Very, very quickly. Right, there's our unicorn all good to go, ready to be added to the card. So we'll take our card, and I like to give my stamped images like this a little bit of shape. So just rolling that around my fingers just to curve the edges round a little bit and give it that little bit of shape before we add it onto our card. So just shaping that using your fingers. You can use a ball tool if you want, but we just want to give that a really gentle curve. And then all we need to do is just stick that onto our card. Now, whenever you've done alcohol pen colouring and you turn it over, when you're new to alcohol pen quilling, it's sort of like, oh my goodness, what's happened there?
Yeah.
That's totally normal. When you're using your alcohol pens, that's sort of a sign that those alcohol inks have actually moved within the fibres of your card. It's much better at bleeding through to the back rather than bleeding outwards. So that's perfectly normal to see that. So do not be alarmed if you're new to alcohol pen colouring and you can see all that colour on the reverse. That's completely normal and nothing to worry about. So a few foam pads onto the back of there. Just adding the dimension through the middle rather than all over, just to try and keep that shape of the unicorn. And then she's just going to go into the centre of our card. Then it's just a case of doing our sentiments. We'll move that out of the way and bring back in our mucky stamping platform. So we'll move that stamp out of the way that we've used previously. And we'll bring in our lovely unicorn sentiments. We've got all of our different sentiments within this one that we can use for our card. I think we're going to go with Have a Magical Day. So we get asked quite often as well in terms of when it comes to sentiments, do you cut your card down first, do you cut it down afterwards? Completely personal preference, but I find I get a bit of a neater result by cutting the cardstock down after I've stamped. So I'll cut it roughly down. Obviously that's not going to be the finished result, don't you worry. We'll trim that down a little bit neater afterwards. And we'll pop that into our stamping platform and we'll just pop our stamp onto there.
Which TriBlend did Lily use to get the pinkish colour, says Jen? Sorry, I missed that bit.
No problem, it was your magenta blend.
Okay.
So for the main, it was magenta and lavender blends.
And Trudy says, I want to start colouring with Spectrum Noir. I need a Spectrum Noir for dummies, though. I've got a huge mental block when it comes to using which pen and on what. So just, Lily, so that we can get it in our minds, which are the watercolour ones, which are the alcohol pens?
So when it comes to your watercolour pens, you're talking about your aqua pens. We do also bring to you your aqua blend pencils, which are very much like a pen, but in the pencil form. So they're water-based. And when we talk about water-based, that means that, of course, you can use your pens as they are directly onto your surface, but they've been designed specifically for use with water. So very much like you would from a watercolour palette, but just in a much more compact form. You lay that colour down and you can blend them out with water.
Yeah.
Of course, any sort of water-based medium that you're working with, the best card you can use is always going to be your watercolour cardstock. That's your water-based side of things. And then when we talk about our alcohol-based pens, we're talking about quite a few different ranges of pens here. So we've got our TriBlends that we've just used, and they're split into sort of two categories. You've got the grey barrels that we've just used, our TriBlend brush. Same ink, just a different nib in terms of being a brush nib. And then you've got your regular TriBlends, which are in the black barrel, and they have a lovely bullet nib. Then we've also got our classics, bullet nib and chisel nib on those, and we have our illustrators. So those are all the alcohol-based pens. If you're thinking about sort of starting crafting for the first time, starting colouring for the first time, I would probably say my top tip would be get yourself some TriBlends.
Yeah.
Those are the easiest ones to work with, and there's so much education out there. Just have a little look on our Crafters TV YouTube. There's tons and tons and tons of videos out there, lots of colouring tips and tuition. And I know for a fact we've got a Colour Me Happy coming up tomorrow, all on aqua pens. So if you want to start using those, tomorrow's the place to be.
And get those questions ready as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I know Leanne wants to make it a really interactive show, so if you've got questions about aqua pens tomorrow, that is the place to be.
And I always think it's good, you know, anytime we've got a live show on Ask Questions, but particularly if Leanne's in, get those questions into the crafting oracle.
The crafting oracle, absolutely, yeah. Any questions, save them for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll be expecting them. So we've got our sentiment matte and layered onto some of our pink cardstock. Then finally, all we need to do, just to finish this one off, we're going to bring in a couple of little pennants just to balance. Obviously, we've got our sentiment down on the right-hand side. If we were just to pop that onto the card base, as it is, it's sort of a little bit imbalanced, so we want to have a little bit more detail on that top left to draw your eye into that topper in the centre. So we're going to bring in some of our scraps, so all those little offcuts of cardstock that you've got left over, those are going to be ideal for creating your little sort of banner strips like we're about to do here. Cut these to probably about 3/4 of an inch in width, but it's completely up to you. It can be a little bit thinner, a little bit wider, that's your choice. So we've cut down to about 3/4 of an inch width here. It's typically stuck to the plastic. There we go, just slide that out. And then we'll grab some more of our pattern paper and we'll cut this one down to about the same width of 3/4 of an inch. So just line that up where that metal bar finishes. We're just lining it up along there and we'll just grab that out. So then all we need to do is just sort of fork off the edges. So it's up to you how long or short you want these to be. We're going to have the purple one a little bit longer, I think, than the other one. So I'll just lay that in position, just making sure it doesn't overlap with our bar there. So just cutting that down on a diagonal. And then we'll cut our pattern paper one ever so slightly shorter, I think, so we'll just measure that and then we'll go in about there and cut that down. Then all we need to do is just stick these to our card, so we'll come in with our tape pen and we'll stick that to our card. Just to let you know, I've not forgotten about the ovals. We will do that afterwards, don't we?
Oh yeah,
We'll
I had
definitely
forgotten
do
about
that.
the ovals, so it's a good job that you just said.
At least I
Because I would have gone,
remembered.
lovely card, thanks very much, see you
Goodbye.
later.
Yeah, no, we've remembered the ovals, don't we? We will definitely count them after we've created this card. Memory like a sieve. Dear, oh dear. Right, second one I'm going to braise up with a little bit of foam, and that's just going to go overlapping that other one there. And then finally we'll just pop a little bit of foam onto our sentiment here, just so that's standing proud from our card. And then that'll be our card pretty much done.
Beautiful.
So easy start to finish really in under an hour. So very much achievable one if you guys at home want to get crafting with this. Definitely one to have a go at. And there is our finished card. All that colouring, all the matting and layering, all the card construction, all done within an hour.
Perfect.
And using those ovals, which we are about to have a little look at the sizes. So we'll bring back in our ovals. I have to work out which one I've used here. So we'll have a look. Let's bring in...
Count it down.
The countdown of the ovals. I think it might be that one. Let's have a look. That's the one, right. Okay, so from the outside in, your largest one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So using 5, 6 and 8. Sounds like I'm about to start singing, doesn't
5,
it?
6,
7, 8. So 5, 6 and 8. So if you're counting from the outside. Steps, eat your heart out.
There we go.
There you go.
Absolutely brilliant. Finishing brilliant time as well. Just got a CC delivery, says Violet, and it's like Christmas and the Energizer Bunny all rolled into one. The items in the box keep going and going and going and going. Melanie D says, great craft along, beautiful card. Remember, if you want to grab it all, it's the showstopper that you need to go for. The beautiful papers that Lily has been using, beautiful pearlized papers with the florals, with the beautiful unicorns on there as well. You're getting 24 double-sided sheets within that pad. Alongside that, you've got the matching 8x8 vellum and, of course, your 6x6 pad. 24 sheets in there. Those are single-sided sheets, but as we were saying, more like toppers in here, really, card toppers, because you get all of these fantastic designs, different to the designs that you've got on your vellum and on your 12x12 pad as well. So quite simply, if you want a quick, easy card, bit of matting and layering, whack it on a card blank with a sentiment, you're good to go. All of your linen cardstock is included as well, so that all matches up absolutely perfectly. You've got 6 different colours in there. 4 sheets of each, giving you 24 sheets of our linen cardstock, and then you've got 4 meters of our illusion film included in there too, which you'll be using on all of the other goodies that you've got in the collection. So this is the stamp that Lily used. There is a power in kindness. That is it, isn't it? There is a power. It just says there is power. There is a power in kindness.
Apologies, I did that board. I knew you was looking at me. You could tell my handwriting on the back. I wrote the wrong name.
It's fine. So there is a power in kindness. Stamp a die. You've then also got the Embrace Your Inner Unicorn, so that beautiful legible, use your illusion film here, or do a bit of paper piecing, colouring onto acetate, you know the drill with beautiful dies like that. Then you've got your stamp and die set, which is called Be Unique, Be You, which is that beautiful rainbow, the clouds and the hearts, and you've got all those fantastic sentiments in there. Be unique, be you. When it rains, look for rainbows. Sending sunshine and rainbows, and you brighten my cloudy days. More sentiments follow here in the unicorn sentiments. So you have got be a unicorn in a field full of horses. You are magical. Have a magical day. Happy birthday, and I believe in you. Then you've got your Born to Be a Unicorn set. So that is a unicorn die sentiment. And then you've got Embrace Your Inner, Sparkle Like a, Born to Be a, and At Heart. Obviously, you're using the unicorn there to create all of those sentences. And then lastly is that beautiful embossing folder, which is called Unicorn at Heart. Looks so good, doesn't it? On that beautiful board there in the gold. Fantastic. £48 is the platinum price on that. $64 if you are shopping in the US and you are a platinum member. And as I said, if you just decide you want to pick up all of those bits and pieces individually, you can. Quite simple. You just go on the shop the day, shop the show, and you'll be able to see all of those items right there. Thank you for the oval count, says Cindy.
Welcome.
Pat says, stunning card. I love the unicorn paper. Gorgeous, says Jen. I'm almost finished going into my colouring coma. Thank you. Make sure if you have crafted along, on. You either send them in. If you send them in to studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk, if we don't get to show them potentially later, we might show them on a future Friday Night Live where you can win 50 bonus points on your Club Inspire. And Cindy says, love the card, Lily. I will finish it up soon now. Thank you for the craft along. Lily, so you're back, just remind us, tomorrow?
I am. I'm back tomorrow at 2 o'clock tomorrow now. I'm very, very excited. I feel like I've not done a craft vault for ages, and it's going to be an absolute cracking show. Myself and Leanne are going to be here for an hour. The deals are absolutely crazy, craft show deals. Now, I'm a little bit gutted that I'm not at the NEC, but not so gutted because I do get to spend Friday and Saturday with you guys at home. So if you're like me and not able to make it down to the NEC over the weekend, we're going to bring the deals to you guys at home. And that show, we've got some of the most incredible deals. I cannot wait to share them with you. So make sure you tune in 2 o'clock tomorrow. Myself and Chivs, it's going to be absolutely fabulous. I'm also back on Saturday as well with another colouring craft along. Who would have thought it?
Well, there you go. If you love your colouring, plenty of opportunities to get your colouring picks. And again, if you are, you know, like some of our viewers, a little bit worried about colouring, not quite sure what you should be using where, then those are the shows to tune in for. I will be back with you in a couple of hours' time. Chibs is going to be back in for a spring sale cart load. She's organised a lot of deals in this show. And if you missed the preview that we did on Wake Up Call this morning, been already very busy for the spring sale mega bag. That is an unbelievable deal. We've got £10, $10 deals on the show. We've also got star buys, wow deals. You saw a few of those if you were watching this morning on Wake Up Call, but we've got more to bring to you. Plus, I'll let you into a little secret. We're bringing you price drops in the show, which you will not want to miss, and time limited deals. There will be a half-an-hour segment in that show where we will release some amazing deals and then they'll be gone. So you'll need to be watching to find out all those deals. Massive thank you to Lily. Thank you to you guys, and we will see you in just a little while. Bye for now.